Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do a very dramatic Christmassy winter look with a glitter cut crease gold eye and a classic red lip. I would say this is really a classic Christmas look. But if you guys want to see how this look was created, then keep on watching.
Starting off just using my Morphe 35R palette, I'm going to be taking these two shades as my initial transition shade. As you can see, my brows are already done, and I just used these Tanya Burr Cosmetics Selfie Sculpt in the shade Medium to fill out my eyebrows. Now I'm going to deepen up using this corner shade. I hate that Morphe does not have any names for their eyeshadows, but just taking this warm mocha looking shade, and of course making sure that everything is very blended out. Taking this Urban Decay flat shader brush, I'm just going to be taking, it's basically a black shade. It even looks black, it's brown, but it looks black. So I'm just going to take this and start now shaping out the form of the cut crease that I want and blending it out. You don't have to be super careful as far as the bottom goes because we will be carving it out with concealer. The key from this is I can't even tell you how many times I thought that it was going to look awful. But just keep blending and just work through it all, because in the end it's like a smoky eye. You're going to have so many breakdowns, but in the end it will look fine. Now taking the Anastasia concealer, it is such a nice opaque thick concealer. Without being too thick, I'm just going to carve out my eye. Now this is so hard to do when you don't have a standing mirror, and because what I would normally do is hold my skin tight, but I don't have a standing mirror. So I had to do it all free-handed, and it was difficult. But I'm going to be setting it using these two lightest shades from the palette. And then blending the top part out, but wanting to keep the lower part obviously crisp to make it a cut crease. Now moving on to the shimmers, I'm going to be taking the Stila Magnificent Metals Eyes in the shade Kitten and using it with the little liquid that it comes with to make it look very foiled. And I'm going to apply that all over, adding more to certain places just to give it the effect that you want. Now for the winged eyeliner, I'm going to be taking the Tanya Burr Cosmetics in the Selfie Flick, and this is their black liquid liner, and I am going to just apply a nice decent wing. Here's to show that it doesn't always turn out perfect, but just take your time and fix it, and it will look fine in the end. Taking the Tarte Maneater mascara, just applying a light coat of that because I will be applying falsies later. But I'm going to go on to my Hard Candy Primer Lotion on my face, and then on top of that my Smashbox Primer Oil. And then I'm going to let it set and settle into my skin for about 10 minutes. What I typically do is I do this before I even start my eyes, so once I'm done with my eyes, it's all soaked in. But obviously for the purpose of this video, I'm going to walk away for about 10 minutes just to let it soak in so it's not too drippy. And then I'll be right back. And I'm back. Moving on to the Wet n Wild foundation. It is the Photofocus foundation in the shade Porcelain. Now for this foundation to work, I have to apply a very thin coat. And as you'll be able to see, it just evens out my skin tone. So I'll use concealer to cover up my blemishes. Some people can make this into more of a full coverage. I cannot. It separates really weird. If I apply too much of this foundation on my skin, it separates really weird, and I really like it, so I just end up going for a very light coat, and then I will cover it with concealer. So going on to my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, I'm going to be applying it to my pimples, and then setting those really quickly so that they don't move, and it's just not going to put a damper on my party. Moving on to my face, you know the drill. I'm going to be taking the Fit Me Concealer, and I'm going to go back to using a little bit of my Tarte, just because this is such a full coverage look. I'm going to be going back into my Tarte, because I'll also be doing some cream contouring, and I want to highlight a little bit more. Blending that out using my Real Techniques sponge. Now going on to the Jordana Sculpt and Go little sculptor thingy-majig in light 1. I'm going to be carving out my face. Now I'm doing the full contour, the jawline, down the nose. Like, this was a big day for me because lately I haven't even hardly contoured. I've been bronzing up my face, but I've not really been contouring. So I'm just going to be taking this Wet n Wild angled little synthetic brush, and I'm going to start the initial transition, the initial blend. Now I really like to blend it out first with a brush, and then I'll go over with my beauty blender that has still a little bit of foundation just to melt the products together. And then I'm just going to be taking this Real Techniques brush to blend out the nose contour. Now setting using my favorite, I just got a new one, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 05 Fair, and I'm just going to basically set all over my face. I'm not really baking anything, but I'm going to be setting all over my face using this powder to make sure that nothing moves. Now on to bronzer. I'm going to be using my favorite at the time, which is the Tanya Burr Glow Du Coco bronzer. I'm just going to be mixing the bronzer and the highlighter. Now I just went super heavy-handed, which is the story of my life with bronzers anymore. But the way that I really fix it that it melts in is I take my foundation brush that I used on my face and I just kind of pat over it. It will blend out any harshness and prevent all of this. Prevent all of this. I was freaking out by this point. But you just take it and you blend it out, and it ends up actually melting into your skin so nicely where it looks just like you're naturally bronzy. And then I take my beauty blender on top of that and just go over and blend as well to make it look more seamless. And then to contour a little bit, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Revolution contour palette, just this one little tiny shade, on a flat little contour brush, and just specifically in these little areas to give me a little bit more definition, and then blending it out as well with my foundation brush. Now for blush, I'm going to be taking this Gigi Hadid Jet Setter palette in collaboration with Maybelline, and I'm going to just be taking the blush shade, very little bit. It's super hyperpigmented, and just applying it on the face, but use whatever blush suits you. But I'm also, for highlight, going to be taking the Tanya Burr Cosmetics, I believe it's Champagne Souffle or something like that. I will leave it down linked below. It's part of her regular line, so you can definitely get this. It is so amazing. I don't know if it had like a layer, because the first couple times I used it, it was nice, but it wasn't blinding like it is now. But now it just gives me such a nice glowiness to it that I love it. So now onto the bottom of my eyes, just taking my MAC 217, I'm going to take that initial transition shade that I used on top and just really buff it underneath my eye. And then taking a little bit of that black with the same brush I used to carve out my lid, I am going to apply that just at the lash line. Now you could go full on with black, or you could, whatever you would like to smoke it out super or make it more natural, whatever works for you. This is just for me what looks good on my eye color. But for my falsies, I'm going to be using the Kiss Midnight Lashes, and that is what it looks like with the eyelashes on. Warning, some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewers' discretion is advised. Can someone tell me why I did not blend that out? It is upsetting to me as I edit this. It's upsetting to me. But moving on, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild Red Lip Liner. It really makes the whole liquid lip last so much longer, and I'm just going to carve out my lips. And then moving on to the Tanya Burr Santa's Little Helper liquid lipstick. I warned y'all that this was gonna be my red, and it is so beautiful. Like, it just lasts so well, and it is just such a beautiful lipstick. It's comfortable, I love it, and it's just the whole look. I'm really vibing on it. So on top of that, I'm just going to be highlighting my inner corner using the face highlighter that I used, and then after that, the look is completed.
And that is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a big old thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. I will be filming one more wearable Christmas look wearable, more wearable than this Christmas look and for my next tutorial. And then I'm going to start on the New Year's Eve glam looks, and I am so excited. I cannot wait to start. I don't know where this year went. I can't believe we're already at Christmas and much less 2018. Like, my mind's like, but next month is my birthday month, and I am super stoked for that. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!